When somebody says, what color is this?
We go by that.
Color doesn't mean a shade, a complexion.
Or complexion.
Tone. That's connotation. So that connotation, so this is why. Now the question is, you asked for me, why, Abdullah, is that meaning, why is the connotated meaning for color so pervasive? The etymology will give you the why. The etymology gives you the why. Once you know its true meaning, then you wouldn't know what? The motive.
The motive.
If you don't know the true meaning, you would never know the motive. It wouldn't make sense to you. You say, oh, shucks. They're using, this is what it means?
So that's the wrong use.
And they said colored people, National Association for Advancement. Oh, so it's what? Status. It's not what? An identity of a people?
No.
It's a negative political status. Negative status. That takes them outside of treaty protection. I mean, you're saying that they're artificial. They're not real. Biologically they are, but not politically. Biologically they're real, of course, biologically, but we're not talking biologically. We're talking politically. So what? They're civilly dead politically. They're dead in the eyes of the law. And we think that is an identity. We talking about people with PhDs among us. Scholars. I said scholars. I didn't say scholars. I said scholars. Pushing that among us.
It's a whole list like that of definition of the
With this
color.
connotation, right?
The color, of all that.
Yup. Extensive. And let's go.
We can describe. We can put the color is
And
a
that's the back
misconception of status.
What's that?
We could put it. The color is a misconception of a status or.
No, there's not the misconception.
Well, actually,
It's a negative status.
It's a negative status.
Yeah, because it means artificial. Not real, counterfeit, fake, a simulacrum, in appearance. Distinguished from that which is real. Distinguished from that which is real. Yup, that's the Black's Law Dictionary. And it's what? Right in line with its etymology. The conceal, hide. So
then it's wrong to.
all right, let me explain. Someone who has color of authority.
Yeah.
Right, color of authority would be
Somebody's hiding.
no, I'll give you an example. All right. Cops. Cops have color of authority. Let me explain. You call them, and they're not this. They're not this. They're not this. The ones you see on the street, you might have uncles or fathers or what. They call themselves this. They're not this. I'm going to show you that they're not this. They're not this. All right? They're not that. Now let's look at officer. An officer, one, who, then ER is an agent. That's an agent. You have ER, OR, IR, UR, AR. All right? Agent means one who, in this case, what? Holds an office. Now, You're either elected or appointed to the office. All right? You're elected or appointed to the office. You have a constitution, right? You're elected or appointed to the office. All right. When are these jokers elected or appointed to the office? The sheriff is, but the sheriff is not a police officer. What is the sheriff? A peace officer. What's the difference, Abdullah? What's the difference between a peace officer and a police officer? Police is what? Emergency powers. Governor, state. Who can what? Who can what? Who can call a state of emergency? Who can call a
vice president,
state of emergency?
major, governor?
So a police is emergency powers.
But isn't the E, you could also interchange the E with the Y and call them policy
Yeah, but
officers, right?
yeah, but you want what does that mean though?
To be a policy officer?
What does no. I hear people do that, brother. I hear that, brother. And it is saying the word policy officer, policy enforcer, policy, brother. They don't even know what they're saying. Police powers is emergency powers. Now, and people who say policy enforcers, ask them what that means.
Well, I'm just telling you what I...
No. That's the problem. The problem is you're telling me what you heard. That's the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is you're telling me what you heard. That's the problem. This police is a substitute for emergency. Emergency police. Emergency powers. Police powers. The governor has police powers. Or substitute paid police powers. President has police powers. All right? The sheriff is a peace officer. So you have in time of peace, in time of state of emergency or war. All right? The sheriff is an elected official. The sheriff is the highest, ranking law enforcement officer in the county. The sheriff is a law enforcing officer, not the people you see around with the word police on it, on the cards. State of emergency. So they are in a constant state of emergency since 1933. That's why you see this word on cars.
So,
And this is why you don't see, let me finish. And this is why you don't see deputies in your neighborhood. And I'm talking about, only time you see deputies are where? Near the what? City Hall. You only see deputies near City Hall. You don't see deputies in the neighborhood. You only see deputies you only see deputies. If you go to City Hall, Camden, Philadelphia, you'll see what? You'll see sheriff and then deputies. Because only one sheriff. Because there ain't gonna be no 10 sheriffs, only one in the county. But you only see it near City Hall.
right.
I've never saw deputies 10 miles away from City Hall.
Only when they're riding to turn to place.
Yeah, but I'm talking about you see them all day long there at City Hall. But you see these all over the city. They initiated a state of emergency in 1933 and maintained it. So we see these words all the time. We don't know what they mean. We don't know what these words mean. So I'm demonstrating to you why awareness. It ain't study just be studying.
Right.
That's meaningless. There has to be some function. What's the application? Why would you want to study just for the sake of studying? Don't you have some meaning to your study?
Now I do. More than ever.
Well, that's my whole point. So that you can be empowered, having meaning to it empowers you. All right? So, they're not officers. They may be your fathers, fine. They may be your uncles, brothers, fine. They're not officers. They're not official. They don't hold office. An officer is one who holds an office. What office do they hold? When they're elected and appointed, and you can show me in the Constitution, show me the Constitution. That's simple. You say the officers. No, but I ain't gonna argue with you. Show me the Constitution where that office is. Show me the Constitution where the office is. Just show me. I go to what? Any state constitution, right? You can see what? Sheriff.
Only sheriffs, yeah.
I can see sheriff, right?
Yeah.
Like, show me. You say they're officers, right? Show me the Constitution. All right, here we go. You Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Glee Clubs. All right, that's fundamental, y'all. Fundamental. Fraternities. Let's talk with fraternity sororities. Masonic orders. They are officers, right? The officers are listed where? In the Constitution and bylaws or what? So you know the duties of the officers, right? They're what? How are they elected or appointed? Aren't they?
Right.
Fraternity sororities. They have constitutional bylaws. I'm a member of Alpha. We have constitutional bylaws. And it has constitutional bylaws has what? The officers. All right? Their duties. Brothers and sisters, this is simple. I say it's simple. So somebody said there's an officer, there's a constitution and bylaws that they can show you. Where's that office at? Show me. Where's the office at? It's that simple.
One question: if I did legally, so if I confront an officer, like you said, or just
They're not officers.
there is not office.
No, you gotta say it correctly, though. I can't answer that the way you posed it.
Well, if I confront
You're gonna be confronting
police,
officers,
if I confront the police,
say the
the right
emergency
way.
again. Confronting a private security guard.
Private security.
A private security guard. Let me give you the language.
Private security
Let me give you the
guard.
language. Let me give you the language. They are private security guards for a private corporation. City of Philadelphia is a private corporation with a charter. City of Philadelphia is not government. It's a private. Look it up, bro. Look it up. Look it up. It has what? Let me finish, bro. Let me finish. I need this. Let me finish. Let me finish this. Let me finish this. I know what I'm talking about. Somebody say, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. It has what? On the what? On the seal, right? What do you see?
Incorporated. ENC.
Or app. So you see that?
Yes.
See, people see it, but they don't know what they're looking at. They see it. They see this. But they don't know what they're looking at. It's right in front of your face. It's not even hidden. Or what they call hidden in plain sight. It's hidden in plain sight. You see it every day in front of your face. Some of y'all might be working for those, that's fine. And you see it every day. You see it, INC. You see it established. That's a corporation. You say, well, city government. What city government? Don't say Philadelphia. No, you don't say Philadelphia. Don't put city government and Philadelphia together. That's a private corporation. And the CEO what? The CEO is what? Who? The mayor.
The mayor.
And that goes back to England.
Yeah.
England.
They're playing really playing.
England. Why etymology? Why etymology? They playing you. You can't read. You can't read. You can pronounce words. You can pronounce words. So you see police all the time. You see mayor, CEO. And that's the time to go back to England. All right? So, now, when you're approached by a private corporation, see, now, Abdullah, why is it important to know this? Because you know that now, because you're not looking at them as government.
Right.
See, you're looking at them, see, this is what's called color of authority. They're exercising color of authority. Color is an appearance. It appears that they have authority. It appears that they do. But when you understand that, hold on. City of Philadelphia, that's a private corporation. It has a charter. It says incorporated. Officer, they don't hold an office. Oh, they color authority. They tricking me and my people. They have an appearance of authority. It only appears that way because our people are ignorant. And they call them officers all the time. You say officers all the time. You ain't saying private security guard. Change your language by community. Change your language by community. Do not call them officers. Private security guards for a private corporation. Yeah. Private corporation of City of Cherry Hill. Private corporation of Mays Landing. Private corporation of Delaware County. Private corporation of Philadelphia. With their CEO, who has the title mayor. Speak like that verbally and in your writing. As you're writing to them, speak like that. It changes by changing your language. It changes the effect that you have. Come on, Black Lives Matter. Talk to me. Do not call them officers. No officer killed them. No officers killed them. Private security guards. Eric Gardner was not killed by an officer. He was killed by a private security guard working for a private corporation called what? City of New York. Talk to me. Who else? Name some more. Brown was not killed by an officer. He was killed by a private security guard who works for a private corporation. City of St. What's the name of that city? Ferguson. Talk, thank you. They were not killed. We keep saying they were killed by officers. What is the problem, Abdullah? They're saying that they were killed by officers. You keep calling them officers. That's for starters. Another start point. You saying that they're black. 2 points. It does matter. It does matter because what? It invokes now by correcting their status and changing their language. It invokes constitutional law. Talk to me. It does. That's why they called you black, Negro, colored. They know what they're doing. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. Lie. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. And remember, those people that look like you, so-called scholars, will stand up in front of you right here and says, yeah, it doesn't matter what you call yourself. Black, white, orange, purple, yellow. Am I making that up? Don't they say that? Don't they say that, fam? Now, they don't say, it don't matter who you are, Chinese, Moroccan, English, Dutch, French, German, Polish, Russian. You never heard that before, right? You never heard that before. You never heard a quote-unquote black scholar say, it doesn't matter who you are. English, Irish, French, Moroccan, Nigerian, Dutch, Mexican, Cuban. You never heard that before, right? They don't say that. What do they say? It don't matter what you call yourself. Black, red, purple, green. You all heard it. Y'all heard it. Don't tell me y'all didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it. You've heard it all your life. And they come from these quote-unquote black scholars, and they all, that you heard it. You heard it all your life. When I was teaching, give me a minute. I was substituting for a 5th grade class. And Moore classifies black. At the Foreign Relations Department at Rutgers University in Camden. Foreign Relations Department at Rutgers University. Moore classified black. He said, I was sitting at the back of the room. He said to my students, 5th graders, it don't matter what you call yourself. Black, white, red, orange, purple, green. He's from the Foreign Relations Department at Rutgers University talking like this? Foreign relations? Foreign treaties? Nations? Nationalities? And talking like that? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. And these people got PhDs that look like you? And you say they're educated? Shame on you. I remember a teacher getting mad at me. This is going to be my book. My teacher national to a 5,000 student. A teacher, a social studies teacher, got mad at me. This is the year of the Million Woman March. I was at the teachers, was in the teachers' lounge. And I was talking about the principles of nationality. You know, the false concept of race. And she said to me, apparently she didn't pass the bar because she went to law school for teaching social studies. So much, you know, so she said, you need to deal with the real world. Now we're all teachers, you know. And I said, remember, I'm talking to the teacher, not directly just to her, talking to the teachers. So she said, you need to deal with the real world. I said, I am dealing with the real world. Nationality, principle of nationality is the real world. Nigeria, Nigerian, France, French, China, Chinese, England, English. Guess what? She never spoke to me again. I wasn't arrogant. I was talking. She said I need to deal with the real world, so I'm responding in kind. Then I'm dealing with the real world. She never spoke to me again. That's one of my book. I not put her name in, but it's in my book. She never spoke to me again.
Because you told her the truth.
That's why it's so important to know how to respond.
Yeah, I wasn't arrogant. I was responding in kind. We were having a conversation. She never spoke to me again. I'm dead serious. She never spoke to me again.
And because you knew something she didn't know.
Yup. Go ahead, brother man.
Because I got this question. So, how is it possible to describe more and how to take more on these people back to have the correct? I want to know what example you said that we are miscommunicating.
You said describe. Go back to say defeat people what you said. So how's it?
I've lost the
Describe what? I missed that.
No. That's how we can know more to talk example for these.
Oh, no more. I got you.
No more
I got
about
you.
these
Right.
these corporate private servers, like because like this, if I talk to them, I know my knowledge, but I want to increase it a little more to know what to do to dealing with them. You said in paper, and like you said by talking.
All right, what I'm doing now is I'm giving them foundation. They didn't know that City of Philadelphia was a private corporation. But I showed them that it is. I mean, it can be proven. I mean, just go to the seal. One point of evidence. One evidence. The seal that they see. That's in the courtroom. Seal. That's on the card.
I see in every municipality.
What does it say? Incorporated. That's one point of evidence. The charter. They have a charter, a corporate charter. That's two. All of them do, because they're not city government. We call them government.
They're not.
And I'm saying that my brothers and sisters who are dealing with Black Lives Matter, right? One, the status has to be corrected. People aren't black, they're Moors. And they need to stop calling them officers. Stop calling them city government. Change their language. Trust me, it makes a difference. Because they're viewing them as having this authority that they don't have.
We put
You're
it.
thinking that they have a constitutional authority that they don't have. They're private corporations. They have no constitutional authority. They're private. They're no different than seals and robots. They're no different than Lowe's. You're perceiving them. What is the difference between Lowe's and City of Philadelphia? It's how you perceive it. It's how you perceive them. You perceive them as having constitutional authority, as being government. It's how you perceive. I mean, we as a community, I'm not talking individual. We as a community, how we perceive Ferguson, how they perceive Ferguson as city government.
And they're not. They're just a private corporation.
So if members of what they call Black Lives Matter had this knowledge as a body, I'm talking about one person, as a body, you ain't gonna tell me it ain't gonna make a difference.
Legally, well, what's it called legally? With all this knowledge, it makes a really big difference. It does.
That's why they don't want you to know it. And they walk around with this color of authority. It's just color of authority. It's not authority.
It doesn't exist.
They have no constitutional authority. They have what they call color of authority.
Over.
It has an appearance of authority. They got they're in cars. Right through your neighborhoods with the word police on it. And you don't even know what that's emergency powers. And they had what? The corporate seal on it with INC on it. Right in front of your face. And you still calling them government. This you do. Fix the corporate seal and indicate the INC in the corporate seal. CEO, you write to the mayor, right? CEO of City of Philadelphia Corporation. CEO of City of Philadelphia Corporation. That's how you address.
Right.
You change your language. I'm teaching. You change your language. So now you are addressing them as that. You're addressing them as CEO of a what? Of the private corporation or City of Philadelphia Corporation. Don't say City of Philadelphia, that's City of Philadelphia Corporation. That makes a difference in your approach to them. We are approaching them, we as a community, or communities, are approaching them as their government. So we're submitting to their color of authority, not knowing that it's color of authority. We're thinking that it's constitutional authority. And you call them officers. It does matter.
Because they're not.
Thank you.
That's it.
It does matter because they're not.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Oh, one more. I want to know more.
All right. Can he have? Because
If you were having problems, say if a cop stopped you and you had the sheriff on speed dial, would you call the sheriff and say, this?
yeah, you could do that. Now sometimes they start. Now the sheriff may not respond. Now why not? Sheriff is in bed with them. Sheriff is not used to exercising his or her authority, constitutional authority, because they are. That's the sheriff's duties. The sheriff don't have his deputies out there. You see sheriff's deputies out there in the community?
No.
So the sheriff don't have his deputies out there. Sheriff is in bed with them. But
But
he
he's
is.
an elected official.
that means you can hold him to his obligation.
You go hold them accountable.
So you still fight the sheriff and hold the sheriff to his constitutional obligation. Yes. It's more effective if it's done by community. You can do it as an individual. You can do it by yourself. Fine. No problem. You can do it by yourself. You can have some effect. Fight for yourself. You have some effect for yourself. Fine. For yourself, you will have some effect. But I'm telling you, it's more effective if it's done by community. So now what you do, you what? Hold the sheriff to his constitutional obligation as a community. So we wouldn't be going to what? Them cops, sinners, or private. You'd be going to the sheriff and holding the sheriff to his. Once you are aware, family, as a community, come on, Black Lives Matter, that the sheriff is the constitutional officer, you now will be going to the sheriff and holding the sheriff and teaching the people about the sheriff being a constitutional officer and holding the sheriff to his constitutional obligation. As a community, come on, Black Lives Matter.
Right on.
We just demanding them what they have to do.
As a community, come on, Black Lives Matter. I ain't saying no individual. This ain't going, fam. This ain't going, can't be effectuated as an individual. Let's be real. Let's be real. Now you can have some effect individually, fine, but not community. The power is in the community and educating them and organizing them. Come on, Black Lives Matter. And we ain't black. Let me address that. Black or more. Go into dictionary. On the British dictionary, black or more. 1921. How you doing? 1921. Oh yes. We gotta. Let me give you 1921 Webster's New. Let me finish this up. New International Dictionary. I'm right in my mind is because I'm trying to. Dictionary. 1921 black. Plus, let me just finish this 30 seconds. More. All right. More plus black or more. 19. You see this? Black's an adjective. More is proper now. Okay. All right. More is proper now. All right. 30 more seconds. All right. Here we go. Proper. So I'm trying to. My mind is moving faster than my. All right. There we go. All right. So make sure that's on tape. All right. Make sure that's on tape. Black's law. All right. Webster's New. And there's other ones too. I mean, 1921. Webster's New International Dictionary. All right. All right. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week. Commit to you next week and the following week. Etymology and trust law. We have to get out of here. Thank you.